and welcome again to Between the Sheets with me, James Max. So, we have decided to rip everything up today. We might do some ripping later, but today we have not one but two guests. We've decided to make it a threesome Between the Sheets. Why not? Dawn Neeson, broadcaster and columnist, and also Dave Chawner, comedian and author. They both join us. Thank you both very much indeed. So here we are, all between the sheets. Why do we do this? Because we go inside the papers to find out the big stories of the week.
Harry is in the news again.
Oh, what a surprise!
That shy, quiet,
shocking.
privacy-guarding ginger chap.
Yeah.
Oh.
His new job is Chief Impact Officer of a mental health firm in California. But the thing that has caught the attention of the news is that his title has been called Chimpo. Which I mean, that is a funny word, isn't it?
Yeah.
But that's also Japanese slang for penis.
Oh.
Perfect.
Perfect.
Absolute perfect description. Needn't say any more about that one,
No,
really.
I think so. Let's do that.
6 in 10 say the Sussexes should lose their royal titles as well. Which this is the great British public. We've had enough of them. Cancelled.
Here's what.
No. They can still call themselves the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. Because that lovely book.
And Prince Harry.
Yeah, that lovely book that Meghan's written for children called The Plank or The Bench or the whatever, the penis probably.
Maybe.
Yeah, that is. She's written that as Meghan, Duchess of Sussex.
But you see, this is the
But
point which I
she hates
think.
the family because they're terribly racist.
But I just think that if you're going to go, if you want to leave the family, if you want to leave the institution, I get it. I'm sure it's been really difficult, very tough, and I'm not sure I would ever want that
I
for all
would
the
really
time.
struggle in a palace with millions of pounds of
Yeah, but I think you have that view of it, but I think there are a lot of constraints. So if you want to leave that, then that's fine. But you don't then go and make money off the institution that you've shunned.
No, exactly. And, the final point about the roles is the mental health thing that Meghan and Harry do not stop talking about. It's very important, of course, it's mental health. But they're throwing the entire family under the bus. Doesn't care about his dad's mental health or his granny's mental health. It's all about me. Grow up, Harry.
Quite. Now, I have to put on my gloves. Surgical gloves, because I've got a handle.
This is my favourite bit of the week.
Well,
Is he doing something to Harry? I mean,
this isn't about dealing with Harry. This is about dealing with. Oh my God, I can't get in them. Oh.
We can't stick his hand up his bum and
I mean, I'm glad he's not a doctor, because this isn't breeding me with confidence.
Well, I'm just about to handle The Guardian. What I like about The Guardian is there is absolutely nothing worth talking about in this paper this week. And what
you did look.
I did look. I've been all the way through. There are no stories in here. So what I'm going to do, I said I'm just going to do a bit of representation, but I've had to put the glass because it's a surgical procedure. That is what happens to The Guardian. One, because there is a massive row going on between the editor and the chief executive of The Guardian. Oh, there's handbags at dawn! Not that dawn. And then there's nothing in it, so bye-bye The Guardian. Right, now...
But that could have been worse. That could have been worse, people, because he was going to tear up the marvellous Daily Star, which has me on it.
Wonderful look at that.
I can do that if you want.
No, go away.
Right.
Thank you. Any case.
Let's move to another story. Jenny McGee, who cared for Boris Johnson whilst he was in intensive care with COVID-19, has quit the NHS, accusing ministers of lacking respect for healthcare workers. So, that's the story, sort of. The real story you don't find until you delve really far into the papers and you find out, no, she's not giving up because she's fed up with the NHS. She's got a contract for more money to go to the Caribbean. Who wouldn't?
So this is a point of principle, not that she's turned into a Channel 4 TV programme, I believe, talking all about her. And as you say, she is not leaving because it's a 1% pay offer and I'm so depressed and nurses are hard trodden and Boris Johnson, who I looked after and I thought he was going to die. I saved his life quite literally. And breathe. She's got a well-paid job in the Caribbean.
But isn't this is a classic example? This is almost like Harry and Meghan. I've sworn.
Yeah.
Isn't it like that we've mentioned she has become a star because of who she looked after, and now she's decided to metaphorically just dump on that and just say, I don't care about the NHS or looking after anybody. I'm now going to go after my new fame and money.
Now, what I want to know, James, and I don't know if you've read this anywhere, Dave, but did she come up, because she's from New Zealand, isn't she?
Yes.
So was she trained in New Zealand as a nurse and came over here to work, or did we, as taxpayers who fund the NHS, pay for her training? And now she's taken that training and going to the Caribbean. I don't know the answer to that, but I hope that's not what it is, because that would be even more annoying.
It would be. I mean, look, Dave, we look at this story and it just shows you how important it is to delve into all the facts so that you get everything together so that you can then take your own judgment. And I'm sure, look, anybody who has worked in the NHS over the last 12 to 18 months has had a really difficult time, and I think people will struggle when, for example, we hear about the 1% pay rise. But then what about everybody else who has worked blooming hard over the last however long? Look, you know, you have to, the money has to come from somewhere. There are people who've worked in supermarkets tirelessly over the last 12 to 18 months. There are fire service people who have worked tirelessly. All sorts of people have worked very, very hard over the last 12 to 18 months, and some people have lost their jobs, they've lost their businesses.
I think this is obviously PR from Channel 4 that want to get people watching the documentary, isn't it? I mean, it is a bit of a kick in the goolies. I absolutely agree that not everyone can get a 1% pay rise, but how much did we spend on track and trace?
Billions.
The amount of money that's been wasted in different areas, it could have gone to the people who have really done the hard work. But on the other hand, we need to have a root and branch, and you can't touch the NHS anymore because we need to have a root and branch because there are so many people running around doing things that are not necessary. And I know that 76% of all statistics are made up, but 52% of the NHS budget is spent on administration. And when you spend that much money, of course some admin has to be done, but there must be some wastage, and you could give frontline staff more if you really had the political will and motivation to do so, but you've got to make some cuts elsewhere.
Why are we paying nurses 23 grand a year and we've got administrators on £200,000 a year?
Well, quite.
That doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense, but then on the other hand, somebody like Jenny here, taking the opportunity, or Channel 4, whoever it is, I think the way it's been skewed is really, really poor. Anyway, we must move on.
We must, like her, to the Caribbean.
Let's move to Dawn's story, everyone.
You really built that up now.
I know.
This better be a good one.
Did I ruin it for you? Yeah, this is a really, really good one. This is buried away in the Daily Mail, considering this story was huge at the time when it broke. This is the only paper I've seen it, and it's buried away. This is the principal of the school in Pimlico, remember, where he was taken to task for being strict with the children.
What?
I know. Who'd have thought it? But they accused him being racist, sexist and everything, because he tried to introduce strict uniform rules and strict hairstyle rules. And that led to a full-scale riot with the children and his teachers rebelling against him.
And apparently, by the way, at this school, they think that the Union Jack, the Union flag, is a symbol of racism.
Is it a symbol of racism? Yep.
Is it?
Well, despite the fact that we
depends where it's being used.
Despite the fact that we,
I mean, to be honest, if it's at that school, it possibly is.
We fought under the Union Jack to defeat the Nazis, who were probably about the worst racists you could possibly get.
Yeah.
Just saying. In any case, this poor chap, Daniel Smith, now announced yesterday he is stepping down at Pimlico Academy after pupils rioted because he expected them to be good students.
I just
basically.
But this is why.
They chased him down the corridor. One of the pupils actually chased him down the corridor, and he had to go and hide in his office.
I mean,
what is wrong with it?
Not funny.
I mean, I do remember that when I was growing up, that particular school was always a hotbed of activism. I mean, there's a history of it there. But this is again why we are chasing out some of the very best schools in our society, because apparently we don't want to have any kind of selective education. Everything's got to be co-educational. All of these things, and we are taking away, if you like, the opportunity. Some people work harder than others, some are cleverer than others, some are more gifted than others, and you've got to have some element of choice.
My thing is, though, surely this is a missed opportunity, because there is a brilliant, now more than ever, there are so many things to have a lively, passionate debate. And actually, teaching kids through debating, I think, actually gets them engaged. It gives them the skills that they'll need for real life. So I think now more than ever should be an opportunity to have those uncomfortable questions.
Yeah, but they vandalised the school instead. It was so much easier.
I mean, what kid doesn't?
And the teachers help them. And the parents.
This is so true. Dave, let's go to you next.
Well, pure and simply, I'm sure you see the story. Keir Starmer.
Oh, God, in a new...
I love the fact that you didn't bother with the sir. It's just embarrassing. Sir? Why do you get a prefix for doing your job? I mean, I'd love to be called Sir James Max or Lord Max.
We can sort it.
Yeah. I think we should.
Don't limit yourself. You could be Lord Captain. You could be anything that you want.
I could
Sith Lord. But you could be anything.
Well, yes.
Sith.
I'm just moving on. But I don't know what he's talking about. But I do find that it's extraordinary that he just got this Sir for his job, and then he's trying to make out that he's one of the people.
Well, I think this could be a really good opportunity for him to, like, you know, have a little bit of fun, like straight eye for the Keir guy, or, you know, through the Keir hole. Like, I would love to see this kind of like reality TV show with him in it. If he does have a human side,
Having taken part in reality TV, there are not many instances where it turns out well.
It's not going to end well, is it?
No.
Name a single politician that's done anything on TV that's happened. I mean, George Galloway. And Widdicombe.
Right.
See where I'm going with this? Tony Blair, everything he ever did. See, it's like, it's not going to end well, is it? It's going to end in tears.
Well, surely, is it like someone that is not a fan of the Labour Party? You want him to hang himself with this?
Well, but I'm not a fan, not a fan of the Labour Party, but I'm not a fan of the Conservatives either. I want an opposition.
Yeah.
We were talking about debate. I actually want someone to
I want somebody to be
oppose.
articulate. I want somebody to be focused on it. And I also want, look, on occasion, Keir Starmer absolutely lands it because his legal brain means that he has a very good forensic way of picking things up. The problem is that you want him to have new ideas. He seems to lack them. He certainly doesn't seem to have leadership qualities that we would want to see. And the last point is that he's got rats fighting in a sack, or however you want to use the metaphor, of the Labour Party, which is pulling itself apart from left to right. It can't decide its ideology.
What Labour need now isn't a TV programme, it's a policy. Any policy
Any
will do.
policy will
Any
do.
policy. Anyone,
Well,
just give us a policy.
This is the problem with democracy. The biggest problem with democracy is that people like me are allowed to vote. I shouldn't be able to vote because I go to the voting booth based on, like, would I have a pint with him? Probably not. I wouldn't. Would you have a pint with Keir Starmer?
Oh, God, no.
No,
Would
I
you have
think
a pint with Boris Johnson?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I mean, there's
Oh,
probably
yes,
more
definitely
stories. Would you have a pint with Andy Burnham?
Of course I would.
Would you have a pint with Andy Burnham?
Yes.
I'd rather pint used to.
No.
Oh.
Hey, listen, shall we move on? Let's move on to the Daily Mirror, if only because this day, Wednesdays, they put Cat of the Week in. What?
You do like a pussy story, don't you?
Everybody loves Cats, the musical. Why? And it's having even got his blooming face in it. They're going to picture this cat. I mean, why?
What a tale, though,
Polly
eh?
Hudson, why? You're given a column, you're probably paid a lot of money. Why are you doing this?
Pause for thought.
And then when it says,
Sorry.
warning may contain sarcasm. Oh, Starstruck of the Week. What is this crap?
It says Lammy's gone on strike. The cat's gone on. I mean, do cats do anything other than strike? Do you know what I mean?
Oh, and then he's got another cat. Oh, God, Polly,
Look,
I'm so sorry.
Polly has a clause in her contract that
so
she has to
crap.
mention cats
Sorry,
every
it's
week.
crap. It's crap,
trying,
rubbish,
I'm
rubbish.
trying.
It's rubbish. Let's move to a more serious story. And let's move back to the TV. I am incandescent with rage. So, Nick Knowles is in danger of losing his job on DIY SOS after breaching BBC rules on advertising. But weirdly, their highest paid star, Gary Lineker, is perfectly able to use his fame and celebrity to advertise crisps. But Nick Knowles is not allowed to use a hard hat to advertise shreddies. Were you going to make a hard hat joke?
I was going to say helmet, yeah.
Oh.
Nice.
Yeah.
I do think that the people at the BBC have turned into helmets.
Yeah.
Helmet heads.
Helmets, absolutely. But yeah, no. But evidently, the BBC's answer there is Gary Lineker's okay because he's vlogging crisps, but Nick Knowles' role is as a builder, so he's trading on the BBC programme. However, the amount of crisp adverts that Gary Lineker has made for Walkers involving football is quite high, really, funny enough.
It is quite high.
Yep.
Meanwhile, we must turn to our Anne finalists. Dave, where are you going to take us?
Oh my God.
I'm going to take you to my Anne finally, which is apparently 75% of people think that cinemas should disclose the actual start times.
Yeah,
Oh,
you see,
yeah.
I think that's a really
do you
great
not think it's a good
Good
idea, though, to have
point.
munch time first? Because there's nothing better than a whole
No.
bucket of popcorn. Get it eaten
It's people-
before it starts.
It's people
Do
like
not eat
you.
popcorn.
Thank you.
What?
Do not eat in cinemas.
No.
Ever.
I'm
not?
absolutely.
Anything.
People turn up, they have popcorn, they have crisps,
Yes.
they have apples,
Yes.
they've got a buffet. It's like
Yes.
you're watching a film.
Yes.
You're not at a banquet. Get
Yes.
rid of it.
No.
How hungry can you be in 2.5 hours?
Oh, amazingly.
Look, a glass of
Have you
wine
seen the
is fine.
size of me?
Yeah.
Glass of wine, yeah.
Glass
Look
of
what I've
wine's-
got to fill here.
You don't turn up to the opera with KFC. Stop it. Don't be stupid.
Oh, no, but you do. But with respect, you do have a nice set of smoked salmon sandwiches and a glass of fizz.
It's
Lovely.
ridiculous.
What? I can't even remember the last time I went to the cinema.
Who can?
Oh, I used to go to the cinema. I had lovely Hessian wallpaper and stuff.
Did you get barred for eating too much? Was that what it is? You've turned up with all this food.
I caused the close down of the whole industry. It wasn't anything to do with COVID. It was like,
Single-handedly.
stop him eating at the cinema. We're closing them all.
Human coronavirus.
It was you, Gary Lineker, and a lorry full of crisps.
Oh,
And you just
delicious.
turned up.
Oh, I love a crisp.
I would kill you if you were sitting next
Yes.
to me in a cinema.
Oh,
too.
no.
Making that
Apparently,
crack. Ooh,
apparently, I eat Jewish, which is very, very noisily.
God.
It's true. No, I do. Well, what with being a North London Jew as I am. Yes, I just did because I'm North London Jewish. And the thing is that I've got so much to say normally. Nom, 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 chat, chat, chat. And it's a very noisy experience. I really don't know where this has gone today. What an extraordinary episode of Between the Sheets we've had. Thank you so much to Dawn Neeson and to Dave Chawner. Thank you very much indeed for joining us. And of course, you can join me next time for more fun and frolics in Between the Sheets with me, James.